Yeah, yeah, 360. Yeah, I'm like round and round and round we go. And where we stop, I'm like nobody knows. 360 degrees, 360 degrees. We give you what you want, we give you what you need. 360 degrees, 360 degrees. We tell the real truth, you know what I mean?
And welcome to another episode of 360 Degrees. Today's episode featuring TheM0on. Odie, do your thing.
All right, good morning, everyone. I have a good friend of mine on the show today. He's a music artist. He goes by the name TheM0on. Actually, normally with people we've had on the show, we have a quick bio, rundown of stats, things of that nature. But there's kind of, I guess, maybe an HIM mystery behind TheM0on. And when I say HIM, I'm basically saying he is the male version of her. If you've been following that music promotion. But we want to focus on TheM0on today, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. And you can definitely give us a bio and information of what you want us to know.
Okay, that sounds cool. Hi, everyone. I am TheM0on, the artist. I'm North Carolina raised. I have been doing music for a very long time. I'm choosing to keep my identity hidden for right now, but I will be bringing some good R&B, trap, soul music to you in the next few months.
So, just out of curiosity, what prompted you to be so mysterious about your identity? Is this a marketing thing? Is it just are you actually just a shy person? What's up with the mystery?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a shy person. Performing for me brings out my takes me out of my. I'm normally a very easygoing, soft-spoken type of guy. But when I get on the stage, music brings me out of my shell. So I wouldn't say that I'm shy. It's just that everybody has a dark side, and I feel like TheM0on is my vehicle to express myself in a very dark way, I want to say, without people, maybe giving the type of, wow, I can't believe you're singing this type of music. So it's just my way of bringing forward my dark side.
Interesting. Okay. Well, the first single is called Moonlight, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So I did listen to the song. Blue, did you get a chance to listen to it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Blue, Mars, did you get a chance to listen to it or no?
I did. Yeah.
You did? Okay. Okay, awesome. So I know Blue and I don't know what your feedback was, Merce, but I know Blue and I like the song Off Gate. Everybody, I think, well, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for the guys, but I think the female, there were some lines that immediately stood out as far as, like, time wasting. I mean, we all saw the campaigns, the Waste of Time 2017, as far as, like, flipping the script. Nobody wants to feel like their time is wasted, but I was just wondering if there were anything, if there were any lines in the song for you guys that stood out the way that it stood out for me.
No, because if I did that, I'd be gay, so I won't do that. But I would say overall, I like the track. The track was very reminiscent of, like, I hate to use the word pure because that's probably inappropriate, but like real R&B. And I hate to even use the word real.
Right.
It's like
fundamentally, I think that's what that's fair to say.
The music was engineered correctly. Very good job on picking whoever you engineered your stuff, because people don't realize what it takes to engineer R&B music versus rap music. I was an engineer for years, and I tell you, I could whip up a rap track easy, but them R&B ones was harder and harder to engineer. And I commend your team for putting together that particular track. I really, I look forward to seeing a video, but with this campaign of you being incognito, I was just like, what is this going to look like? You know what I'm saying?
The video is
coming. It's all about listening to music. I see I really love a track.
But that's not hard to do, though. That's not hard to do because
when it's visual, that means it's good. When I close my eyes or even my eyes are open and I start seeing all the pieces of the puzzle visually, that's how I see music. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. I think he was saying
Kanye West, All Falls Down. The whole video was Stacey Dash.
I mean, yeah,
so
there's ways to do it. It's just a matter of is he going to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely coming. It's something that you're going to be, I think when you see the video, you're going to be like, oh, okay. It's going to be pretty nice. And it should come out sometime the beginning of next month or the beginning of next year. Because, the holidays, everybody's kind of crunch time, but we trying to get that down.
There you go.
But, yeah, definitely.
And what was Kanye thinking using bitch-ass Stacey Dash? But anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, but that was the first video to come to mind. Don't judge me. I'm just don't judge me.
He probably got Stacey Dash for cheap because she ain't working on Fox News no more. So
this was gonna be
she still wasn't really working.
Anyway,
what inspired you to become a vocalist and songwriter and other attributes that apply to your music scene? What inspired you? What made you be like, you know what? I'm going to do this.
I think that, as a child, I was around my music influences, my mom and my dad. I think that, my dad, he was, very heavy in music. He's a jazz musician. Also, he played in different bands, and my mom as well. So when I was growing up, I had those influences around me. I guess I also listened to, the greats, You got your Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Shirley Murdoch. My mom used to love Shirley Murdoch. I used to listen to her sing this all the time. So I just wanted to, I just wanted to sing at the time. Like I just would kind of mimic her and mimic my father. He was always singing Always and Forever. So about Heat Wave. So I would always mimic them kind of singing. And as I grew up, over time, it just developed. I developed this love. And then I found out I could write music. So it took. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, that's really commendable because that's a very difficult talent to have. But yeah,
it's been in my heart since maybe my mom says I've been singing since I was 3 or 4 years old. So it's something that I've always just did and, tried to grow into. I also wanted to rap at one time, so we kind of glad that didn't take off good. I wasn't that good.
I was going to say, is the son going to be your alter ego, like on your next album, project?
If I get better.
Well, at least you seem to be very self-aware of your limitations. So there's nothing more frustrating than to see one of your favorite artists, whether that's they're a singer and then they foray into acting or vice versa, and then they're not talented and no one around them is smart enough to tell them or cares about them enough to tell them that's not your strength. Let's stick to your strengths.
I will say, it was many years ago, I was watching, they had some of the Bad Boy troupe up there, and Lil' Kim, and they were giving an interview, and Lil' Kim was talking about, I'm working on an R&B album, and people in her camp were looking at her like giving her the side eye, we'll talk about that later, as if to say, okay.
We never saw the album. She has a good camp.
Yeah, I know it's something that you want to do, but we're not going to do that because you're not a singer. So at least some people in her camp had enough wherewithal to say, yeah, that's not you.
I bet you she could sing her ass off, but they did not want to mess up her image or promote a more positive image for her, as she was seen in a box as a sex pot in rap, and being a singer might take her away from that, which doesn't appeal to her original fans. I promise you, Lil' Kim can sing. I promise you. I can feel it.
I hope it's not the same way Kanye West can sing. But I will say that knowing your limitations is not. I wouldn't say it's not complete. It's just going with what you're stronger with. But the whole thing about your limitations is that you could always expand on your limitations and turn your weaknesses into strengths. So
practice makes perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very true.
I've been sitting on this guitar for 12 years. I can't play a lick, but one day, motherfucker. Right now, it's a severe limitation.
Yeah, that's another. I also play a little bit, but I'm not a good. I play the keys, so I mean, it's just that I can't. I can play to an extent, but I'm not gonna be making something, that's classical or something. I can play, some nice chords, things to get me through it. But definitely because I am a vocalist, I try to learn different instruments myself.
It's all tied together.
Yeah, it is. It's part of it. It's about music, so you definitely want to take that, rap. I don't know. I try to do a little bit on Moonlight, as you can see. It's still, I'm kind of like singing, so that's just my forte.
Yeah, go ahead, Drake.
I mean, I will say I tried to do a little bit of rapping, but I was doing rap. I was trying to rap in the Biggie Tupac era, so then it was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a job instead, because this ain't for me.
You don't fit into this realm. It's not a 2017 thing. It doesn't translate well to this time period. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I will say one thing before I let you continue. I will say this: I'm old, or older, So I listened to the track today.
Seasoned. You're a veteran.
And I listened to the track today, and I'm kind of not used to R&B songs where they curse. Because I grew up on that. Like, for me, the edgy stuff was when, like, Keith Sweat and Gerald Levert came out, and they were edgy to me, as opposed to somebody like Luther Vandross. So, I have to remember, I'm not in 1986 anymore. It's 2017 that things do change,
right.
So I just, it caught me up, because I listened to it on Spotify. And I think it's amazing that somebody says, oh, there's a new artist out. Oh, they're on Spotify. Oh, it makes it easier. So that's definitely an advantage. I'm glad you're using all your options there. But it kind of threw me off a little bit, and then I kind of got back into it, because it's kind of like the passion of it now. I mean, I curse a lot. If you ever listen to my political shows, I curse more than I should. So thank God I'm not on network television, or else my whole thing would just be all beeps. So
we're gonna get on one of them cable stations that allow you to curse. All right.
but I like the track, and I like the fact that with R&B, there's still. I mean, I know back in the early 2000s, they started getting on the sampling stuff with the R&B songs, like Mary J. Blige and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the album was all samples, and I know that's horribly expensive. So I like the fact that they're getting back into the whole thing about just making their own beats again, instead of relying on the samples, because I know samples are horribly expensive.
Not even that. It's just it takes away from the original, like the originality of the song, because you're always
kind of how they use the sample. Like a lot of people straight jack the sample. Some people interpolate it with the other parts of the song. I've seen some really creative uses of samples. Bad Boy is not a good example of interesting ways of using samples.
You talking about Shine, Bad Boy?
So Death is not a good way of utilizing samples effectively. Now, I've seen some really good. Kanye West knows how to effectively sample. So there's some debate there.
Okay. But still, but when I hear that song, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the one where they were all laying in the bed, and Rihanna was on the track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I saw bits and pieces of that video.
Yeah, so no, it was, I can't remember, but they sampled Sister Nancy, and there's always a part of me that still waits to hear that part, because it's kind of woven into the song. It's not really repeated throughout, but I'm still waiting to hear that bomb. Like, it's just, it's just, I'm always going to immediately think of the sample. Once I hear it in there, I'm going to say, okay, like, I I love it. But
so Rihanna don't make music for oldies. She makes music for people younger than oldie that don't even know the original track, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you figure like this. In an R&B song, a sample's going to do one of three things for me. Either A, it's going to be such a part of the song interwoven perfectly that I don't even notice it. Or B, or B, it's going to take over the song and make me just want to go buy the original song instead of the new song.
Right.
You know?
Right.
One day I'm driving on a highway with my son, and I'm just playing all these throwback tracks. That's what I like. I like music. And my son was like, they took Kanye's song. Oh my God.
Oh God.
I had to basically give him a mixtape where I played the song he knew next to the song that I knew the original track came from, where he could get a better understanding of what sampling came from, because he was appalled. He was so disturbed by it. It was crazy. How can they take Kanye's song? Dude, that's not Kanye's song.
I'm laughing because when I was in college, I had a half-hour discussion with a young lady, and I didn't have Wikipedia to look it up for her back then. But we were playing. We had like a little school get-together. We were playing music, and Heavy D had a song where he sampled "More Bounce to the Ounce." Mm-hmm. So I played the original. So I made like a quote-unquote old school date. And I had the original More Bounce to the Ounce. And she said the same thing. She was like, why do you take Heavy D's song like that? And I'm like, no, it's the other way around. Heavy D sampled More Bounce to the Ounce. This is the original
song. And at that moment, Mercer knew he fucked up.
Like, I wish, I know there's no Wikipedia back then where I could just look it up and say, yeah, this song came out in 1980-something. But no, but it's funny that an adult back then had the same thoughts that a little kid had today. Like, I can understand why a little kid would think that, as opposed to an adult.
Right. Crazy bananas. Let's get back to the music, please.
Yeah. So once the mask comes off of the moon, what is that? Have you thought that far ahead as far as what that's going to look like? Are you going to have like a reveal party? Is it going to just be like, oh, there he is? Or like what exactly is that going to look like, and why?
It's going to look, it's all about, and I want to just, I guess, set up what the EP will give you. The EP is going to set up the darkest part. The moon, it's called Dawning of, the first part of the EP is called Dawning of the Moon. I guess we should start there. Basically, if you listen to Moonlight, the lyrics of Moonlight is basically, it tells you about his journey, and he fell in love with this person, but she's kind of in love with someone else. So he is in this love triangle where he's trying to, make it seem that make her see him, if you could say that at least.
Right.
Through the dawning of the moon, he's kind of in the dark stage. He's in the shadows. He's looking around. He's trying to find his way to come out of the shadows and be the person. He's tired of being a side nigga. He's tired of just being played with. So you're going to see the moon go through a couple of changes, just like the moon, it goes through phases. Yeah. The moon itself as an artist, he will go through phases on the EP. He's going to be mad. He's going to be sad. He's going to be he's going to say, fuck it. This is just the moon. That's his MO, I guess you could say.
What phase would you call the dark phase? I would guess maybe not the full moon, because when I picture a full moon, I picture something full of light. So I'm guessing the dark phase, as you call it, would not be that. Probably be like quarter moon or something like that.
Right. Moonlight is going to be the full moon. That's where I started, at the full moon, because it's called Moon's Light. The first one is the full moon, because basically in Moon's Light, he's shedding light. I don't know if y'all caught it. I'm shedding light on the subject. I'm just bringing it to awareness. So that's where we have Moon's Light, shedding the light. The next song, and I don't, it's it's basically it's going backwards. So it's going to take you a little bit back, which is kind of like Not Knowing, which is which is what the half moon or the thumbnail moon, the crescent. So it's so he's not knowing, and then you go on to the different stages. What we know is new moon. New moon is the blackness. It's total blackness. So I'm able to come in a different direction, and that's going to be the start of the second part of the EP.
Okay.
It's a totally different direction than.
But it's going to be something of a concept album, or concept.
It is. Right. Yeah, I like storytelling. That's definitely, I like consolidated storytelling songs, but over the stretch of an album, it's definitely more, for me, it's more intriguing because you're going to want to listen to the project through and through.
And I think it's better storytelling. I mean, or just better writing altogether, having like a concept
yeah, because it's hard to do. It's hard to do.
Very hard to do. Because I've seen some concept albums that were amazing, like Prince Paul's Prince of Thieves, Cool G Rap's Live and Let Die, Equinox from Organized Confusion, where it comes out really well. But there are some, and I think that's the thing, I don't think I've ever listened to a concept album that wasn't good. Because I think it would get to the point where it's like, all right, this isn't good, I'm not going to bother putting it out. So, I think if you're comfortable,
to for it to fall apart, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So I think if you're confident of putting it out there, then I know it's going to be good. I'm not gonna worry about it too much.
It's definitely. I feel like I'm taking a risk, even with how I'm setting it up. But in the end, when I do bring myself out of the shadows, I think everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay, I think this is kind of dope. I'm just can't wait to actually, complete and see how people take or gravitate to it.
Right. I mean, I think the last R&B artist what was it, like Lemonade was one like a concept album, right, from Beyonce?
Yeah, that was a visual concept. Yeah, that's the first place my mind went to. I was like, oh, okay.
And my thing is this, it's definitely. It should generate some interest because I know people are getting a little tired of his 13 tracks on an album, and the songs may go together, may not go together. Yeah.
Like Khristopher Blue. Just random ass party songs, sounding like a mixtape, some R&B tracks. No, just because it has a lot, quantity does not equal quality. And I have still not listened to that entire album, but I definitely grew tired of listening to it.
I think it's important as being a writer, and being an independent artist, having to be able to do the music I want to. Years ago, when I first started music, I wasn't able. I was just supposed to do whatever they wanted me to do. So being this independent artist and being that I'm an artist as well, I wanted to bring something that it's basically. I want to say it's my life story to a more conceptual sound. Like you get a sound, and you're gonna get these little video pieces to go along with it. That's gonna bring the story to life there. And I think once you get everything and everybody sees what's going on, I think it's gonna be something that you'll be able to I know the music, I love the music. I work with some great people on this project, so you definitely want to know the music. If you like Moon's Light, if you like that, you're gonna love what's coming in the next few months. So.
Okay.
Are you doing any collaborations with anyone?
Vocally, yes, I am doing some collaborations with some artists. It's still pending, so I don't want to put that out there. And that's it's going to be probably more on the New Moon side. I am on my first track. I did work with one of my label partners, Smooth. He's actually in the chorus with me. He did the background with me. So it's good. I mean, and we probably will be doing a collaboration in the future. So there's some other artists that I want to work with too in the area. So I'm just trying to make sure that we all are in.
Yeah, I actually tagged you in somebody's post. They had asked about artists they should team up with, but I wasn't able to like send them a way to directly get in contact with you. I did send them a link to the song. I can't. So I just asked that to ask this: how do people get in touch with you if they're interested in collaborating?
Well, currently, I do have my my IG that is open, which is TheM0on Music Official, and also there's a Facebook page. You can also contact me there. My crew, they're pretty good with making sure that I am in place of, they want to make sure that TheM0on gets his shine. So they're going to work with you as well. And whoever wants to work with me, if they want me to do shows, we're currently making sure that it happens. I just wanted to make sure that I had enough of my project done before I started doing any shows. I just didn't want to come out and just do my first single and not have enough stuff done, because I wanted to, bring people up to the project. So, it's work in progress.
Well, I think you came out at the right time. You're definitely in the right spot. There's definitely a spotlight on North Carolina, especially with the Grammy nod for Rhapsody for the Knife One.
Yes.
You're definitely in the right place at the right time. And with the focus so much on rap, I think that it will open the doors for more different music, such as the R&B, the pop and stuff. I think it's going to open up the gates for artists that are really good and talented, that really have their shit together like yourself, to get that national recognition. Because honestly, I didn't think Rhapsody was going to get a nod at all. I thought she was. I
haven't listened to that album. I definitely will.
It was a commercially successful album for her to get the nod. So she's getting respect and nods from Cardi B and Remy Ma and other national artists. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Knife One definitely put her in the right place at the right time. Of course, it was all about the collaboration with Kendrick Lamar that probably got her there, as well as Anderson .Paak.
That's it.
Two of my favorite artists.
So Moon, when the mask comes off and everything's going well with your career, the phone rings and you get a call from someone who is going to do a dream collaboration with you. Who is that call going to be from?
Felipe Blue, of course. Hey, I am.
No, you've already worked with Felipe Blue. You've already worked with him. So this is someone you haven't worked with, and this is the dream collab, the ultimate call.
Let's see. Currently, who can I collab with? I would love to work with the artist Her. Honestly, I think her music is really dope. My dream collab, I would say, and this might be, but you know what? Who I always loved, of course I love Beyonce, but I always loved Kiki Wyatt for some reason. I would love to,
She does have a very strong voice.
I was just listening to her the other day after I found out she had her 7th kid. I was like, what?
You were
on her own singing.
That male gaze is a bitch. Anyway. That one is I feel like Kiki Wyatt is really built for duet. She is really built for duet.
I can't say right now, my voice ain't right. But yeah, I was just like, she really can sing. I was like, and I never even wanted to listen to Avant unless she was on the track.
Right. Yeah. And she just, I don't remember his verse. I think that was his song, but it was really, to me, it was Kiki Wyatt and Avant to me.
But she was the icing on the cake, and the icing.
Right.
That stuff you have in the middle when you have food in the middle, when you have the cream in the middle, you know what I'm saying? There you go. And the ice cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiki's, her vocal range. I just want her to. I want to do a duet with her and just let her do her thing.
But warning, she's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, but hey, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Another, and this is just being home, just North Carolina. Definitely want to do something with J. Cole.
Okay.
Definitely, that is definitely want to make
nice.
some rap games. Fantasia,
Foot Locker, and of all places, Northgate bullshit ass mall. I was just so good. Like, what the hell are you doing here, dude? And I never ever. I don't even.
I wasn't even understanding that. Yeah, I'm surprised. Damn, Northgate.
Flustered. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Well, I've seen him play basketball like down the street at one of the centers. So he's always there, like doing adult leagues and stuff. But yeah, I'm surprised he was all the way in Durham at Northgate. Northgate is really surrounded. But it's really quiet in that mall, so maybe that's why he went there. It's quiet in that mall. Nobody really shops there.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, interesting. Well, that's all I had, questions wise.
So you said you were looking to see a video probably in January. Have you already decided who you'll be working with regarding your video production? Because I think visuals in this day and time is very important in promoting your music and letting people see the vision that you have, as people have their own visions in their head when they hear the music.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of videographers that got the vision. They got, I don't want to give too much away because I want it to be a surprise, but they do know, they see the vision for it. I'm just gonna, I can put this out. You remember the movie Fallen with Denzel Washington?
I was just going to watch that movie the other day because I was like in the mall and I kept on wanting to reach and touch people and give them the evil spirit. I do remember that movie.
So,
excellent film. In fact, I hope it's on Netflix. I will watch it today.
Yeah, definitely watch it. If you're watching it, you'll kind of get like what the first video should look like. So you'll see it. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Oh, real quick question. So the holidays obviously are coming up. We are officially in December. Jesus Christ. And I was wondering, I almost started World War III in a group chat the other day with a bunch of young professionals. And we got to talking about holiday music and kind of what gets you in the spirit. And what is your go-to holiday song?
Johnny Hathaway, This Christmas. That is my first go-to. That starts me out. That gets me in the mood. I don't care if I'm in a bad feeling bad. If I listen to that song, I don't care what type of the year, I am happy. That is my song. I love it. It's a classic.
I love how upbeat that song is. I think that's why my go-to holiday song is definitely going to be Sounds of Blackness, Soul Holiday. That song it just always makes me feel good. Like, I feel like there's a little snow outside, and I feel like I start to smell food cooking. Like, I get in that mindset of, it's about to be a good black-ass Christmas with all of my family.
Hey, that's it. That's the ones. Those are the best ones.
But yeah, I almost started World War III when I said no thanks to the Temptations. So,
Yeah, if you had started World War III, I would have been like Ragnarok, because I'm like, you know what, I'm not that big a fan of Christmas. I like Christmas for the sake of other people, so not for myself. So my apartment, there's no Christmas decorations, there's no Christmas tree, and there's no Christmas music. So if any Christmas songs come on, it's purely by accident, because I'm just not really that much into Christmas music. So if I had to pick Christmas songs, it would be from stuff from when I was a kid that my parents listened to, like Jim Reeves or Nat King Cole, stuff like that. But for me, like, no. So if you had started World War III, I don't know what I would have started. Would I have been like, Christmas, I could take it or leave it.
Actually, that's the thing. Like, I'm not really a fan of Christmas music. I don't really like too many Christmas songs, but the ones that people consider classics are probably just surprising for people to hear. Like, what? You don't like the Temptations? Like, first of all, I didn't say I didn't like the Temptations. Like, let's be very clear. I love the Temptations. I just don't like Silent Night. I'm good on that. That just it's a really sad song. And to me, like, the holidays would be more upbeat.
The only Christmas album I actually own is, and you're going to laugh at me for this, Vince Guaraldi, Charlie Brown's Christmas. And it's probably because most of the album doesn't feature any singing. And that's probably why I like it.
It's all music?
It's almost all music. There is some singing, like from the TV show, but most of it is basically just they do O Tenenbaum, like a little jazz version of Old Tannenbaum, and that's like my favorite song on the album. But as far as like, I just don't really get into Christmas all that much. So, but like I said, I love it for the sake of others. Like I go to my friend's house and I give them all like gift cards, and they're all sitting there opening up their gifts. But now it's getting a little melancholy because some of them are turning 18 this year. So then it's like, you don't really need a gift card from me next year, do you? No, you have a job now.
What about you, Blue?
Yeah, I'm kind of like Merc. I don't really care for it too much, I guess. Yeah, I do agree with you. That Silent Night, that's a dark, to me it just sounds dark. Yeah, that all the shrills in that song just kind of like, whoa, dude, what are you doing? I like Mariah Carey, you know what I'm saying? She can pop, you know, her albums and whatever she does, it pops for me, even though I don't really F with her like that. But there ain't no particular song that really sticks out. It's really the movies, the old claymation things that really pop for me to get it going.
Wow.
Music on the radio. I don't even listen to radio like that. I'm always listening to podcasts like Politricks with Mercer Prescott and his eclectic cronies, as well as the newest podcast that's out, The Eclectic Perspectives of Mr. Blue. I don't really listen to music like that in the car, unless it's my music or music I'm working on, to be honest, because I don't like the radio. It's too much mumble rap, and even 104 sneaks rap in there, and I was like, I don't want to listen to rap today. Why are you sneaking this old school rap in there? Yeah, I like old school rap, but that's not where my head's at right now. Fuck you.
Right.
What's his name? D.L. Hughley. But yeah, you know, I mean, it all depends. The older ones, like Merc said, the older ones when I was a kid, that resonates better than like the newer ones. Not as far back as the Temptations. Oh, silent night, holy night.
It does sound like something that someone would listen to on their deathbed. You know?
Like an old slave ritual or something. I can't
it
like
does sound yeah, like a Negro hymn.
Just do a saxophone on their back singing Silent Night.
You know what I'm saying? I could see a video for that, like that Kanye 444 video. Well, I forgot the name of it. They probably could make a video for Silent Night that looks exactly similar to that. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Phenomenal video. I mean, I wish I could draw, but yeah, anyways. All right, well, thank you, TheM0on. Please tell people how to hit you up on social media and, you know, get access to your music. I love the link that Odie sent me. It has had it all laid down, like you was in all the music.
Right, all the platforms.
You get a hit. There ain't nothing you can say that you can't get to my music. Oh, I don't have Spotify. Well, shit, you got Pandora. Oh, I don't have Pandora. Okay, if you ain't got nothing else, you got this. I like how you did that. Excellent, excellent.
Right. Yeah, well, right now, again, you can reach me on IG at TheM0on Music Official. That's also the Facebook page as well. It is TheM0on Music Official. Please follow. You can get the music on all platforms. It's Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Music, Tidal.
What?
Yeah, I'm all over. Share, like, love, post. It's all, even on YouTube. So just find
what's
that.
I'm sorry, I was going to ask real quick. What, as far as hashtags are concerned, when people are listening and sharing, what hashtag do you want them to use?
Hashtag it's something about TheM0on. Hashtag TheM0on Music Official. Those are my two running hashtags.
Okay. And
also, people have been saying they had a hard time finding me because TheM0on is spelled different. It is TheM0on.
Oh.
Good to know.
You know, there's something, a concept in the zero, because, like I said, TheM0on he's that side dude, so he feels like a zero, so that's why the first O is a zero.
Okay, that makes sense. And I guess it'll make more sense once we see the full concept layout.
The concept will lay out. And it's going to give him, this is my baby project, so, you know, it's different from anything I've ever done musically, so it's definitely something that's going to be it's close to my heart right now, and definitely, hopefully, it goes as planned, and you guys will enjoy what TheM0on has to offer, and then see what else I'll offer in the future.
All right.
All right. And now for a short musical break. Mr. Jones.
Should've known better, this shit won't bounce to last. Cause you kept running back to your past. Like gravity, somehow I got caught in your spin. I believed you, but there was no way I could win. You had me in the dark while you wasted my time. You said we could move forward, but then press rewind. So under the moonlight, you said that our love would collide. But just like the wind blew, you up and changed direction. Now I really regret the day that I met you. You told me you loved me, you took me for granted. That bullshit you fed me, you never, she said, never should have trusted you. Had me in the dark while you wasted my time. You said we could move forward, but then press rewind. I'm so done with you, I'm tired of being a fool. I'm not messing with you, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you, I'm not fucking with you. I'm so done with you, I'm tired of being a fool. I'm not messing with you, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you, I'm not fucking with you. I'm so done with you, I'm tired of being a fool. I'm not messing with you, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you, I'm not. You had me in the dark while you wasted my time. You had me in the dark while you wasted my time. I'm sick and tired of being your side, nigga. Stop coming around wasting time. Well, yeah, I'm not waiting on you to figure if you really want him or if you really want me. My dope niggas got your ass feeling for the line. You had me so anxious, but you weren't genuine. Quarter bitches got audacity. Not a third, not a half. You had me in the dark while you wasted my time. I'm not fucking with you. I'm so done with you. I'm tired of being a fool. I'm not messing with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm so done with you. I'm tired of being a fool. I'm not messing with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm so done with you. I'm tired of being a fool. I'm not messing with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you.
And we're back. Hey, Merc, what you got?
All right. I'm gonna keep this short, only because I got a lot to talk about for the Monday show. As Congress came in and passed a bill that pretty much rearranges the entire economy, they handed these congressmen a 500-page. When I say 500 pages, it's not hyperbole. The bill was 500 pages. It had handwritten amendments to the bill. Like, they literally had amendments to the bill scrawled onto the edge of the page. And you could barely even understand that. And they passed the bill by, 2 votes? I think it passed 51 to 49 in the Senate.
Republicans on that. Give me the numbers.
All Republicans voted for it except one. and they could only lose 3 votes in order to have the tax bill not pass. Like the House version already passed. In the House version, you had about 13 or 14 Republicans jump ship and vote against it, and those are mostly from New York and California, because they knew it was going to directly screw over their people. Because basically, blue states are going to be paying more taxes from the way it's structured. So I don't know if it's just a Trump punishment or just luck of the draw. More than likely a Trump punishment, because if you didn't vote for him, he doesn't care about you. Well, if you voted for him, he doesn't care about you either, so he don't care about nobody. But
we don't have to worry about that for much longer, will we? But anyway.
No, not really. But the thing is this, right? All these Republicans who voted against the health care bill, you figured they were gonna, because they were like, well, we're doing it for the people. But you are going to purposely screw them over. You know what Republicans are like right now? If I gave you a mystery novel, right? And the first chapter of the mystery novel pretty much told you, listen, the butler did it, and here's exactly how the butler did it in great detail. And that's the first chapter. Then you read through the rest of the book, right? All 500 pages, and then you get to the end, and you're like, holy shit, the butler did it? I had no clue. I did not see that coming. Yes, you did, because it was in the first chapter of the book how exactly he was going to do it. That's like Republican voters right now, because the Republicans pretty much came out and said, hey, listen, and this is not hyperbole. They came out and said, hey, listen, if we don't pass these tax cuts, our donors are going to cut us off. And even some of the donors were on in articles like, listen, if Republicans don't pass these tax cuts, the piggy bank is closed. They're not getting any more money from us. So why would anybody else think that these tax cuts, just because they lied to your face, why would they think that these tax cuts were actually going to be for the working class? So yeah, your tax bracket is going to go down. If you make under $50,000 a year, your tax bracket is going to go from 15% to 12%, right? But you're going to lose almost all the things that you can deduct. You won't even be able to deduct your state taxes anymore, right? And
what?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. So you're going to get that little bit of money, but you're going to lose it all in the fact that you're not going to be able to deduct your state like all the stuff that you could deduct before, you can't deduct anymore. Now, I remember last week I talked about waiting for final versions to come out, right? You remember we talked about alternative minimum tax and how it was in the Senate version that they were going to eliminate the alternative minimum tax, meaning that there'd be no floor for rich folks and corporations to pay taxes. That actually ended up not being in the final version because to get some of the other more tentative senators to vote for it, they took that provision out. So the alternative minimum tax is still there. So up until a couple of days ago, it was not. They were going to eliminate that. I'm going to talk about this more tomorrow, but I found out something. When Reagan did that whole big tax cut in his first year in office, right? Over the next 7 years, he raised taxes 11 times. Now, here's the thing. When I say that he raised taxes, he did not raise the tax percentage. The tax percentage stayed the same. But what raised was all the little loopholes that he gave to his folks. He had to keep taking them away because then they realized, holy shit, we don't have any money in the treasury. You figure it like this. They did, and I think this was for 1980s money, right? I keep forgetting the 1980s were 30 years ago. Jesus Christ. So that actually doesn't make a difference. But in 1980s money, they did $275 billion in tax cuts. And then they had to kind of revoke, in a way, almost like $130 billion of it. So they almost had to cut those taxes in half because they realized, oh yeah, we're giving this money to the rich, and none of it's going anywhere. they're not putting it back in their businesses like we said they will, like we said that they should, and now there's no money in the treasury. And you figure like this, right? We just gave the military an extra $700 billion over the next 10 years, extra from what they already get. They're already getting 57% of the discretionary budget. And then we gave them another $700 billion. It's going to take about $300 to $400 billion to rebuild Puerto Rico, right? Not to mention California, Texas, and Florida, right? Where's that money going to come from? They're going to
California, wait. From fires?
The wildfires. They haven't given them a dime for the wildfires at all.
Should, wait, hold on. No disrespect. I feel like it's about to preface this with a disrespectful ass comment. But I feel like they've been burning for
months.
40 years straight. No,
they need that super vaccination penicillin for that burn, baby.
They literally been burning all summer.
When has California been on fire? For real. I think that's probably a hurricane. All right, the hurricane comes through, it does its devastation, and you try to rebuild. But how the fuck are they gonna rebuild when it's always on fire? It just seems like 80% of the year there's some wildfires, there's some shit going on in California.
Right. And people's, if you live in Florida or Houston, people say, well, you shouldn't live there. Really? That's not really a solution.
That's not the solution either.
But we have all the stuff coming up and going to come up because every hurricane season is going to get worse, right? Where's the money going to come from? They're going to circle back and say, hey, you know what? All this stuff happened. We don't have any money. Oh, looks like we'll have to cut education and Social Security. Education is 6% of our discretionary budget. Food stamps are literally 2%. So, and I'll talk about it more in depth tomorrow, but I will say this. It is, it's going to be rough, but the thing is, Democrats are being too optimistic because, we're going to win 2018 for sure. Yeah, no. You're seriously underestimating Americans and their blatant
commitment to bullshit.
Yes. I would even say, for lack of a better term, that's actually the better term than what I had. It's a blatant commitment to bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hold on to that bullshit. It's going to be all over their hands and face. It's going to be in their ears, and they're not going to care because they're just like, you know what? He's our guy, and we're going to stick with him until the end. Doesn't matter how many kids he raped. Doesn't matter how many people he bankrupted with his fake college.
And I'm sticking with it, bitch.
Yep.
I'm the captain. I'm the captain now. Look at me.
Now, why do you think that is? Do you think it's that people do not want to be looked at as if they made the wrong choice or switching sides or such a commitment to loyalty to their original decision they don't want to peel back? I mean, what do you
for some people, yes. Yeah, for some people it is. And for some people, liberal tears are more important than their own livelihoods. Because I was telling somebody on somebody's thread the other day, I was like, your commitment to these people, the GOP, is baffling because I know enough about you to know that you're not a millionaire. So in other words, you're not profiting from this. So even if you were profiting, I still think you're a scumbag, but I
understand it.
But I don't understand why. Because I'm like, what's going to happen tomorrow? You got to go back to work at your job, and you're not going to be able to get a pension. You're not going to get Social Security. You're not going to be able to go to the food bank because the food bank has no more money because they took it all. And then what are you going to do when most people live paycheck to paycheck?
When they come for you, bad boy, what you gonna do?
Yeah. In their cases, what they gonna do when the repo men come for them?
They say most Americans are just one check away from losing and having nothing at all.
I know I am. I make no bones about. I'm not proud of it, but I make no bones about it.
Maybe 1.5. That's what I'm working on, trying to get some these money streams through eclectic programs such as Politics with Mercer Prescott and his band of eclectic cronies, as well as the Eclectic Perspectives with Mr. Blue, as well as 360 Degrees, as well as He Said, She Said, as well as just trying to get my music career popping again or something. These damn mumble rappers getting too much money. I need some of that. You know what I'm saying? I can mumble rap too. Yeah, I seen you the other day.
They're getting too much money and they're getting too many Grammys for my taste. Like little Uzi Vert is up for a Grammy on some song he did with Migos, and he's up for a Grammy for Best New Artist.
Well, shout out to Cardi B. We all know Cardi B gonna win that shit because she having the best year ever, and it's gonna be even better in 2018.
You know what? I'm not a Cardi B fan, but I'd rather she get it than little Uzi Vert.
Secret. I mean, I don't know who's in that category, but she can't get it because what she's famous off of is somebody else's beat and somebody else's style. That will be a slap in the face of the industry. Now, if she's in the same category as Rhapsody, let's give it to her.
No, she's definitely in for Best New Artist, and I feel like, to me, if I was a musician, I would definitely want to be Best New Artist. So you can only get that shit once.
Right.
So there'll be plenty of times to win all the other categories, but let me get the Best New Artist because I want to pop in. I want to be remembered.
But you know what? Best New Artist is usually a death sentence, and it's basically like the.
You're right about that. Like a lot of times, Best New Artists don't go on to do greater things, but I still think it because you can only get it once.
Yeah, and it's just the luck of the draw. You know, I don't think it's anything that has to do with like some weird curse like in video games like the Madden curse. Like if you end up on the cover of Madden, you're gonna have some horrible injury and you're gonna lose a season. And that's the way it was for.
They start gunning for you on purpose. That's all that is.
Yeah. Cover of Madden, not next year. Snap, crackle.
That's the Best New Artist. And people start feeling themselves so much they don't work with producers that they think.
Yep. I think that's what happened.
They really look out for them. They're probably not listening to their management as much, or they have shitty management in the first place, and
the work ethic dies.
The work ethic dies. They think they're better than, and they're working with people that probably promote that, but ain't promoting their best interests. You know what I mean?
And then what happens is the other artists who are nominated are like, oh fuck, I didn't get this. I got to grind harder, so I win. So I go back to the Grammy. Right. That's exactly what happens, I think.
Like who's an example that was a bust from from a new artist? Anybody come to mind?
Oh.
Right. It's kind of hard because they're kind of like gone.
They kind of just drop off.
I can't think of nobody offhand.
I look at it like this, right?
Lauryn Hill, mental health hurt her.
And that's a different matter altogether, you know.
Yeah. But bad choices. They say she messed up her musician. She took credit for stuff she hadn't been taking credit for when she got all those Grammys and nods or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then she succumbed to depression or whatever else.
Yeah.
And then that second album, the acoustic one, well, unlike TheM0on, who's definitely putting together a nice, good project acoustically and song lyrically wise, she was just putting it all on the table and couldn't play a lick of a guitar. Watch out, man.
Yeah, I watched some of that.
I cried. Oh, I was so hurt by that. That shit hurt me to my heart.
Yeah.
I was in love with that first album. To this day, I'm still in love with that first album.
I still have that album, too.
Right.
And to watch her have that breakdown it was just terrible, you know. It still hurts to this day.
Yeah, why did Wyclef do her like that? You know what I mean?
And
joking.
I like Wyclef to a point, but you know, after a while it's just like, yeah, okay, you're from Haiti, I get it. No disrespect to Haiti.
Wait.
I know. I just threw a grenade in the outhouse and just walked away.
You know, you outnumbered, like, I'm not Haitian, but, you know.
I know.
But I'm half Haitian. My mom is Haitian.
Ricardo people Haitian.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember.
My mom used to get mad because my mom's from St. Lucia, and they would hear her accent, and they'd be like, "Oh, you from Jamaica?" And she'd get mad, like, there's more than one island in Jamaica. And when I say she get mad, not fake mad, like she would get really angry when people would hear her accent, like, "Oh, you from Jamaica?" Like, no, not from fucking Jamaica. No, but
All right, guys, wait. Okay, so like taking it back a little bit, I don't know, this list might be pretty accurate as far as like best new artist.
Right. Now, who?
All right, so okay, so this year it's Alessia Cara, Khalid. I'm really surprised that Khalid made it in there because.
No, I think Khalid has nothing to do with DJ Khalid. That's a different person, right?
No, not Khalid.
Khalid, okay.
That guy?
Yeah, that guy. Lil Uzi Vert, Julian Michaels, I don't even know who that is, and SZA. Now, if SZA doesn't get this shit, I'm burning this shit down. SZA's on the list. But last year, it's currently held by Chance the Rapper. He was up against Kelsey Ballerini, the Chainsmokers, Maren Morris, and Anderson .Paak.
Ooh, Anderson .Paak should have got that shit.
I don't know. I think I've heard of the Chainsmokers. I'm not familiar with their music, but they have a great career. They still have a great career, so does Chance. The year before that was Meghan Trainor. Now, I don't know what else this girl been doing, but I also really don't listen to her music. But I do remember that hit song, that catchy-ass song she had that year. But I don't recognize any of the other people she was up against.
In my opinion, I don't think though you make a great point that it does, you can only get it that one time. It ain't really as strong a category as other ones, in my opinion, because a lot of these people, for lack of a better word, made it off of one track.
Yeah, I think these people have phenomenal years because I'm like, these people had like one hit for the most part. Right. They've evolved since then. Sam Smith is on the list, Malcolm Moore, Fun. I don't know who Fun is. Bon Iver, Esperanza Spalding. And they go further back. John Legend is on this list. Like, I mean, the list, and Alicia Keys has made it. So I'm just like, the list might have some type of credence. It really might mean something as far as the overall shape of these artists' careers.
Yeah. It can. You gotta have the right people around you. The right people working with you or for you. You gotta have
absolutely.
You gotta be have your mom manage you. Watch out now.
Hold on,
like Alicia Keys, she was on who ran Alicia Keys' label? Somebody famous.
Oh, Clive something.
Yeah, Clive Davis.
Yes. So somebody that sounded as Alicia Keys with Clive Davis behind her, she wasn't gonna fail.
Hell no, because he did Whitney Houston, even though she was on dope real bad. He could have saved her, asshole.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you.
No, I don't know the whole story, but I mean, it wasn't like, only person who could have saved Whitney was Whitney, but then again, I don't know the whole story.
But everybody want to point the finger at Bobby. Hello, she was on coke before Bobby was on coke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They said she was on coke since day one.
But
no.
That was damn thumbs down. Gee whiz, that thing was garbage.
What's that?
The Lifetime movie of Whitney. But on the flip side, the Lifetime movie of her daughter was actually pretty good.
I did not watch.
It was really good. You should take a look.
And she did pass away, didn't she?
Yeah, she died.
Yeah, she did. After she was in a coma for a long time. And the boyfriend is still going through like legal issues with the new girlfriend, beating her ass allegedly. It's a mess.
Wow.
And anyway, as I was saying, I did want to kind of take it back to something we talked about a little earlier about knowing limitations and talking about musicians becoming actors or rappers and like having different facets.
All right.
And I just want
let you feel that that'll be your last blurb. Go ahead.
It is my last blurb. Real quick, I just wanted to bring up one of the actresses who has forayed into acting. She's already done some gigs, but have you guys watched Mary J. Blige in Mudbound yet?
I've never even heard of Mudbound.
Okay, so it's a movie on Netflix right now. It's kind of long. I think it's about 2 hours, maybe a little over or under, but it's around the 2 hour mark. And it was really good. I definitely suggest that you check it out. It's kind of hard to describe it without giving too many spoilers away, but I'll do my best. So it's about a black family living on a farm alongside a white family. And it kind of tells the story about how the white family came to be there. But both of their sons are off during World War II, fighting for their country, obviously. And, of course, their experience when they return home is different because they're in Mississippi. So you can kind of already know, like, it's about to be on some race shit. But it didn't really... I was talking about it with a professor of mine, and she was saying, I haven't watched it yet because I think it's going to piss me off. And I will say it didn't do that for me compared to, like, Birth of a Nation, where I deem that movie as, like, very, like, 70 to 80% hard to watch. Okay. And that was the kind of movie I would only watch one time because the scenes were a little too, like, they were so graphic as far as the slavery and everything. I wouldn't say that about this movie. I would say only like 10% of it got to that point where my blood was boiling. And I would absolutely watch it again. So I say watch it. That's my 2 cents for Mudbound. It's pretty good.
But so how was Mary in the movie as an actress?
Oh, Mary was great too. I remember her in, and for somebody from Yonkers, I thought she did Southern pretty good. I think she did it pretty well. She played, like, you know, she was the mother and wife, and there were things that irritate me, but overall I didn't say, like, there weren't things that pissed me off, like Table Flip kind of pissed me off, but it was a pretty good movie.
All right, Merc, last words.
Last words is this. I know it seems pretty dark out there. You figure, you know, we got to pay more in taxes. We're not going to have any more services. Our internet's going to get hijacked, and North Korea is going to bomb us because Hawaii is already testing their air raid missiles. That is not an exaggeration. And we already have stealth.
You think that earthquake has something to do? Remember there was like a 4.1 earthquake in Delaware? Y'all didn't hear about that?
No, that I didn't hear about.
There was an earthquake in Delaware earlier this week, and they said that they could feel it from, like, all the way up to New York and some parts of Maryland. I'm like, that don't sound. I just feel like that has something to do with what the fuck is happening with these fucking missiles. And the fact that y'all didn't hear about it is even more concerning. Like, is something being hidden from us? But people felt it. That shit, I didn't see it a lot on the news, but I did see it on social media.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it either, but it was, magnitude 4.1 earthquake. Yeah, wow.
That shit got something to do with the missiles. Y'all keep playing. This motherfucker keep playing with us, and we all about to die. But they had pretty good. If they were aiming for the White House, they were close. They just need to go a little further down.
I'm pretty sure if they shot a missile at us, we would know about it. Now, I can't say that for any certainty, but somebody would have seen it. Like an ICBM missile, it's bigger than I don't know how big it is compared to an airplane, but you would know if you saw a missile. I would think so. Now, granted, keep in mind, I've never seen a missile. I just see them on TV, like when they're coming out of the ground, and they look huge.
They might have thought it was. They might have thought it was a UFO. We don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that shit is real. They might have modeled it to look like the UFOs.
Yeah. But I will say this, with all the stuff going on, it's easy for, I know I throw a lot of doom and gloom out there, but, you know, we just got to do our best to just steel our resolve and just make it through this, you know. If for no other reason than to vote these bastards out of office, you know. I don't know what hope the Republicans have as far as coming to their senses, so they're not to be reasoned with at this point. We just have to defeat them. So, that's just my 2 cents on it.
And I agree. Also, like I say in the intro of Politics, vote. Don't forget to vote. And tell somebody who isn't voting to vote. And don't throw away your vote. Listen to Politics so you know how to vote. And that's real talk. Politics with Mercer Prescott and his band of eclectic cronies. If you haven't already, subscribe to The Urban Breakdown on all podcast streaming services, as well as Mercer, who has his solo podcast, which is as yet he hasn't shared that information with us. I mean, I don't know. Have you launched it officially, or are you still working on it?
Still working on it.
And I have only on iTunes currently, The Eclectic Perspectives of Mr. Blue. And I try to do something every couple of days, but shit, real life, y'all, you know, you're lucky if you get once a week. Watch out now. And these are things that might be deemed too controversial or too in a box for our 360 Degrees in Politics broadcast. Stuff more pertinent to experiences I'm having, or things that my clients may be going through, or just things that I need to be let out the box to change and to promote positivity and good things in our community by getting in that ass and slapping you the fuck up and be like, wake up, motherfucker. And that's just what I do with my podcast. Sometimes, you know, it'd be a little funny, but a lot of times it's just really serious. Don't take everything serious, though. Some of the tangents I go on, woo, boy, watch out now. But, you know, so mixing a little fun in there, a little music. You know, I'll be working on some new projects. Good way to put out some new music to test it, to see whether or not I need to go full steam ahead or just peel back a little bit, as well as interviews with people who have interesting perspectives or might be coming out with projects or just have views that I want other people to hear so that they can gain something from it and be better off. Because we're not suffering alone. We're all going through something. Some of us have similar experiences, and maybe the way I go through it is different from the way you're currently going through it, and maybe the way I'm going through it can help me, and maybe the way you're going through it can help me or help you. And yeah, I know what I'm saying. West Coast Conference tonight. And that concludes this episode of 360 Degrees. Do not know where the rest of my cohorts are today, but it might be to change the scheduling for recording. We'll work on that. Be well.
Cause I'm the shit, and bitch I talk like this cause I'm the shit, and can't no other bitch shut it down like this, so let the band play while I talk my shit, cause bitch I'm a cocky motherfucker, bitch I'm a cocky motherfucker, cocky motherfucker, bitch I'm a cocky motherfucker. You were way too concerned with your position in the city, while I was in New York taking trips sitting pretty, catch vouch for that top 10 DJ Envy, you say you're making moves but ain't really fucking with me. I took some time off just to let you do your thing, and now a bitch back and ain't a damn thing changed. I see you switch your style, look, color your hair. You're trying to find sex appeal that clearly isn't there. Me, muggy looking funny when I come around, cringing at the fact Sadie Hawkins stole the crown. Bitches wanna see me fall, knock me off my grind. Now watch me spit my rhyme on the real drum line, bitch. I walk like this cause I'm the shit, and bitch I talk like this cause I'm the shit, and can't no other bitch shut it down like this, so let the band play while I talk my shit, cause bitch I'm a cocky motherfucker, bitch I'm a cocky motherfucker, bitch I'm a cocky motherfucker. Miss Sadie Hawkins, it's time for a road change. bitch. Got these hoes standing in the line. So Soul Train, I don't even know these bitches. No names, make these bitches pull their hair out. Road gang, I'm a Sadiddy bitch. Run the whole city, bitch. I get that dirty money, niggas thinking that I'm Diddy's bitch. I'm on my nigga shit, swag so ignorant. All these hoes dumbfounded, dumb, belligerent. Dudes wanna wife it, chicks wanna bite it. And I might just let them and give a fuck who don't like it. S-A-D-I, 10 like Eli. These hoes stay playing, but I'm serious. I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Sit down, you know word around the city. Sadie Hawkins is the hottest, and you know the chicks are ditty. I step up on the scene feeling like $1 million bucks. I hate to be you, yeah, I know your life sucks. I never been a hater, get credit to where it's due for all my cocky motherfuckers. I made this one for you. You can vouch for that, or you can vouch for this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Yeah, I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, what you have witnessed? You just witnessed the motherfucking takeover. Hands in the air. Sadie Hawkins, motherfucker. And I go by the name.